Today we're going to be looking at conflict resolution. Conflict resolution. Or you can call it couples reconciliation. Couples reconciliation. And let me start by quoting our Lord Jesus Christ as he said in Luke 17 and verse 1 from New King James Version of the Bible. This is what he said. Then Jesus said to the disciples, "It is impossible that no offenses should come." It is what? Impossible that no offenses should come. Meaning that it is impossible that offenses will not come. But look at the way that he put it in Matthew 18 verse 7. The same New King James Version. Matthew 18 verse 7. Look at what it says. He said, "Woe to the world because of what?" Oh, are we together? Because of what? Because of offenses. Why? He said, because offenses must come. Offenses what? Must come. And now, that's Jesus who said that. So if it was Paul, you can still argue it. But if it was Jesus himself who said it, then what he said, he meant, and what he said is a reality. Offenses must. That is, you cannot pray it out of the way. You cannot prevent it. You cannot avoid it. Offenses must come. Could you hear me say to the person beside you, offenses must come? So no matter how much you try to avoid it, offenses must come. So I'm stressing the word must, so that you know that when it comes, it will not be strange. Offenses must come. So conflict must come. Disagreements must come. He said, but woe to the world because of offenses. However, offenses must come, but woe to the world because they don't know how to handle offenses. So, your lack of understanding as to how to handle it is what brings problems. Offenses must come. Why? Because you are two different people from two different places with two different perspectives and having two different personalities. If you didn't get that, get the CD. So offenses must come because you are two different people from two different places with two different perspectives, having two different personalities. So offenses must come. Offenses must come. Why? Because you are blending together, and you will be in the blending business till forever. Till how long? Forever. I'm sure you know that wherever there is a welding together, what will happen? Whenever there is a welding together, do you have any welder here? Whenever there's a welding together, what happens? There are sparks. Am I right? Those sparks are the conflicts. I'm sure you remember Bruce Tuckman, in his write-up about the productive team formation, when he talks about the stages of, the stage of team formation, productive team formation, and he talks about the forming stage. These days that you are saying, hey, honey, sweetie, I've never seen anyone like you. When those chemicals are running your head. And also you close your heart, but your head is yeah. I've never seen a girl like this before. So every fault you overlook. Remember? Yeah. Every fault you overlook. No, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Oh. Matter will matter when you enter the matter. I'm telling you, matter will matter when you enter the real matter. Because, sir, what you are seeing and you are overlooking today, you will see tomorrow and say, I didn't know. No, you knew. You are only blind. Love is blind. It just blinded your eyes to reality. You know, when you read the book of the Gospel of John chapter 2, we're talking about wine there, right? It talks about 3 levels of wine. And that talks about three different stages in every marriage. It talks about the now wine. Now, when they started it, there was wine. Am I right? And so that's the now wine. The now wine when everything is rosy. The now wine when, your wife is still, the sweet 16, that I'm talking about. The now wine when everything is just fresh. The now wine when there's money everywhere. The now wine when everything is just wonderful. But then he says there's the next season will come. You cannot avoid it. The season of no wine. So there's the now wine. But then there's a season of no wine. In that season, you wonder, am I sure I prayed through before I married you? And that's the season of no wine. When things are rough and tough, that's the season of no wine. But sir, but one thing you must know is that there's a new season coming after the no wine season. And how you handle the no wine season will determine whether you're going to enter into the new wine season. Because the new wine is coming. Oh. Whoever said the person beside you said the new wine is coming. They didn't hear you. Tell your wife or your husband or whatever it is. Just tell her that the new wine is coming. Even if you are not yet married, you need to know these things. That's why you come to church. So offenses must come. They must come. They must come. They must come. So why? Because of those stages. The forming stage, the storming stage, the numbing stage, and of course the performing stage. They must come. Offenses must come. Why? Because you are both human beings. You are not human beings. You didn't get that. You are human beings. B-E-I-N-G. You are being. You are not human being. B-E-E-N. Meaning, you are a work in process. I didn't say work in progress. I said work in process. You are being processed. You are not finished yet. Because marriage is the school where nobody graduates from. So, you are a student. Your wife is a student. You too, you are a student. So, it's God who is the principal. So, you can't mark him. You can't mark him. Oh. Did you hear what I just said? You cannot mark your wife. And you can't mark your husband. Your teacher is in heaven. So, if you say you are right, then the teacher said, no, you are wrong. I remember many years ago when I was writing ICANN examination. They didn't tell me that, oh, yeah, you passed. No, they didn't say you passed. They said you were able to satisfy the examiners. Am I correct? So you are able to. So if you don't satisfy the examiner, you are failed. The number of sheets you use does not determine whether you pass. Am I correct? So it is not the volume of writing that determines whether you pass or not. It is whether the examiner is satisfied or not. Hello? You can't be the student and be the examiner at the same time. In the school of marriage, you are a permanent student. You are what? Permanent student. I'm sure you all know, most of you know that I was married for 26 years before, right? And then my wife passed on. Now I'm married again. Now, I am now getting to know that my 26 years of experience is separate from this one. It's a new one. You see yourself? You see? Like my wife said, she said, you see your life? I mean, our home is a home of fun. We just laugh over everything. We just laugh over everything. Stop frowning. Life is not too hard. Cheer up so that I can go up. Glory to Jesus. So you are work in process. But you must ensure that your work in process must be a work in progress. Did you get that? That is, as you are being processed on, you are making progress. Not that you are corrected yesterday and then the same thing you did yesterday, you repeat it. You are a work in process for progress. Are we together? So offenses must come. They must come. They must come. They must come. They must come. Why? Because offenses must come because how you handle offenses reveal how much you have grown, how much you have not grown, and how much you need to grow. How much have you grown? How much have you not grown? How much do you need to grow? It's revealed on how it's by how you handle offenses or by how you handle conflicts, because they must come. Say with me, they must come. So, no matter how long you have been in marriage, offenses will come. No matter how anointed you are, offenses will come. It doesn't matter whether you're a bishop or archpope. If popes will even get married anyway. Whether you're a pastor or a deacon or whatever it is that you are, sir, as long one thing we have to know is that you are a man of God. Am I right? Oh, am I right? So you are a man first. You are what? First of all, a man. There was a man sent from God. So the man aspect must manifest itself. So beauty does not negate conflict. Sometimes it gives him more trouble. I'm telling you. So offenses must come, but they must not stay. Offenses must come, but they must not what? They must not stay. Jesus never told us that they should stay. He said they must come, but they mustn't stay. They mustn't stay. For example, let me give you an example. The most collaborative part of your human anatomy are two parts of your body. What are those parts? Tongue and the teeth. Thank you, ma. I gave you excellent. She's my teacher in the class. Glory to Jesus. The tongue and the teeth, they are the most collaborative part of your entire human anatomy. Your tongue and your teeth. I mean, they collaborate in so much that they feed you. Am I correct? Now, the way you're looking now is the work of your tongue and teeth. Am I correct? It's your tongue and teeth. Now, they collaborate so much that they help you speak out words that will either lift you up or bring you down. They'll either build you up or bring you down. They collaborate so much. But sir, even though they are that collaborative, how many of you know that once in a while they fight? Uh-oh. Do you agree? Oh, do you agree with that? Once in a while they do what? They fight. And when they fight, you feel it. Do you? I mean, you feel it. But sir, what happens after they are fought? They what? They reconcile immediately. Now, if you want to test that, if you want to test whether they reconcile or not, now you let your teeth bite your tongue. And they say, yay! After you have said yay, let them bring you chocolate. Or good shawarma. For those of you who like all those kind of food. They give you something like you like. Your teeth and your tongue will say, no, forget about that time. Let's not. Why? Because, see, what they're simply saying is that when it comes to conflict, what they're simply saying to you and I is that we disagree to agree agreeably. We have to disagree. We disagree to agree and agreeably too. Why? So because the ministry must move to the permanent site. We have to move forward. We have to go ahead. We have to advance from here. That's why it's important for you and I to know that even though conflict must come, even though offenses must come, but they must not come to stay. They come so that they can go. They come so that they can mature you and I. They come so that they can make us know what we don't know about each other before. That's why they come. 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 So, friends, what then is conflict? I just summarized it like this. I said, conflict is simply a misunderstanding caused usually by lack of or hazy communication that leads to a disagreement, which degenerates to an argument, which then results in a conflict, and if not checked, it leads to contention and sometimes fights. You have heard of wife beaters. Am I right? Oh, have you heard of husband biters? So you have wife beaters, you have husband biters. If I can't beat you, I can bite you. Both of them are mad. It's true. Why? It takes a mad man to beat himself. It takes a mad woman to bite herself. Because why you start beating yourself? You don't colo. And so this now, because you are one together with your wife. You are one together with your husband. So there is no way I can wake up now and be beating myself. It's not normal. Am I correct? So now, however it is, it should not degenerate to that level. And if you don't, now, see, the thing is that when there's contention, the contention can be so sharp that it would descend to separation. Separation. So a lot of marriages today are separated. Physically, they are in the same house, but they're separated. They come out with united forms. You know what united forms are? Uniform. It's a united form, uniform. So they wear the same clothes, but they have divided forces because they have divided voices. Separated. Some say to you that, hey, we can't even stay together. Why? Because we have what they call irreconcilable differences. Have you ever heard that before? That's from Hollywood. So they marry today, 3 months time, they're divorced. Why? Irreconcilable differences. That will not be your portion. Amen. Did I hear you say big amen? Amen? Did I hear you say big amen? Amen? Did I hear you say big amen? Amen? Did I hear you say bigger amen? Amen? So what causes conflicts? There are remote causes and there are the real causes. The remote causes could range from money to sex. Somebody said, yeah. To friends, to responsibilities, to humble yourself. Oh, could you let me say to the person beside you, humble yourself? It's a school, you have to humble yourself. Number 3 thing that causes conflict is pettiness. Pettiness. Some things are not important. Majoring on minors. Oh, you didn't sweep that floor. You didn't lay the bed. Look at the way you are eating. And because of that, if she's not eating well, teach her how to eat now. Because of that, you are angry. Why are you angry? Why? See, friends, do you know what the Bible says? It says, no man ever yet hated himself, but cherishes and nourishes himself. Am I right? So, if you love your wife, number 1, you will cherish her. And what you cherish, you will nourish. And what you nourish will flourish. So, if I cherish my wife, so if I see that there's something that she does and I don't like, I will use wisdom to correct it. In fact, in our house, we use fun to correct. We just joke about it and we laugh, and then she calls me professor. He just says, professor. Now, some other women would have, no, but why? That's how I've been doing all my life. That's how you have been doing it all your life. Now you are married. Hello? For those of you who are singles, I know that you pray all night, every day. When you get married, if you want to pray all night, stay single. Because when you are shakaliba papanto la la lanta, the man is there in the room and saying, God, deliver me now. Let the woman come quickly. End the prayer. Lord, answer her and let her come quickly. Petty things that don't matter. You didn't place the table well. You didn't do this one well. Those are minor issues. There are more important issues to deal with in life and in marriage than that. Pettiness. Another, number 4, assumptions and suspicions. Assumptions. You just assume. And assumptions come because of insecurity most times. Suspicions come because of insecurity most times. And so you assume. And what's an assumption? An assumption is a conclusion based on confirmed facts. You didn't confirm. I was watching a movie many years ago, and the guy said, I won't use the word he used, but I'll just paraphrase it. He said, assumption is the mother of all mess-ups. Don't assume. I hear some couples that when you are trying to settle them, say, I know what he was going to say. I know. Which day did God appoint you as vice God? I know what you're going to say. I know. No, you don't know. Chill. Relax. Take a chill pill. After you have spoken your own, keep quiet. Let me also say my own. You don't even know my intention. So you assume the other party's intention. You assume the other party's action. You assume everything, and then you assume yourself out of the marriage. Don't assume. And sir, stop suspecting your spouse. Every move, you are suspicious. No. And then, sir, in order for you to avoid suspicion, you to be open. Be open now. Be open. Glory to Jesus. Just be open. Did you hear what the Bible says? It says, and they were both naked. Genesis 2:25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife. And they were not ashamed. The only cure to shame in your marriage is openness. Sir, don't let your husband be surprised. Ma, don't let your wife, sir, don't let your wife be surprised. Why? What do I mean by that? There is nothing about you that your husband must not know about. And there's nothing about you that your wife must not know about from your beginning to your now. Did you hear that? From your beginning to your now. Why? So that when somebody shows up and says, she was my, I knew. Are you not the one who went to, yeah? And then you're, oh, okay, I'm sorry. See, you shut the mouth of detractors and destroyers of homes. When you are open, could you hear me tap the person beside you, whether he's married or not? Say, be open to your spouse. If he's not married, tell him or her when you get married. Another real cause of conflict is satanic attack. Satanic attack. The enemy does not want your marriage to succeed. You know why? Because marriage is a representation of heaven. He doesn't want the marriage to succeed. And so he's coming from everywhere to attack the marriage. Have you heard? Have you read? Be sober. Be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, is walking about looking for whom to devour. He said, whom resist, steadfast in faith. Sir, don't give the devil a foothold. If you give him a foothold in your home, it takes a life hold of your entire family. It will degenerate from you to your marriage, to your family, to your children. If you are not careful, it goes into your children's children. Don't ever allow him. That's why it says, be angry. Yes, be angry, but do not sin. Be angry, yes, but do not sin. How? Don't allow the sun to go down on your anger. Meaning, before the end of the day, resolve it. Resolve the conflict. Reconcile the relationship. Hello, church. Did you read 1 Corinthians 13 this morning? Answer me. Did you read 1 Corinthians 13 this morning? What did he say about keeping record of wrongs? He said he does not keep record. Oh. Nah. He doesn't keep record of wrongs. So that simply means that once you say, I'm sorry, and we have resolved the conflict, and we have reconciled the parties, it never happened. Are we together? Number three, settle this in your heart individually. Couples, settle this in your heart individually. This marriage must work because it can work, and so it will work because it should work. I take it again. Settle this in your heart individually. This marriage must work because it can work, and so it will work because it should work. And I will work it and ensure that this marriage does not collapse on my account. You see it? When you take this position, you discover that any conflict that comes, what you are looking for is how to resolve it and reconcile and move on. This marriage must work because it can work, and so it will work because it should work, and I will work it. It will not dissolve on my account. So, Pastor, you resolve that in your heart. Madam, you resolve that in your heart. There's no way conflict will stay. Sir, you get it? Once I resolve it in my heart, she resolves it in her heart, conflicts will come. Offenses must come. But when they come, they don't come to stay. They come to go. And they shall come to pass. Did I hear you say a big amen? Number 4, I'm closing now. Number 4, don't take yourself or things too seriously. Don't take yourself or things too seriously. Don't take yourself or things too seriously. Abba, make fun out of every seemingly serious situation. Hello? How about you should have served my food in this kind of plate. What kind of nonsense is that? No. You are taking yourself too seriously. You are taking things too seriously. You didn't barb your hair. Look at how they barb your hair. What kind of rubbish is this? And all that. You are taking yourself too seriously. Instead of you saying, you can, what kind of rubbish? I said, honey, now I can remember. Now I can imagine how your head looked when you were in primary school. There are so many contours on this head. Oh, luau. Praise Jesus. What I'm saying to you, don't take yourself too seriously. You are too serious. You are too serious. Take things too seriously. Make fun out of everything. Sir, nothing is as bad as it first appears. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's the way you approach it that makes it worse. Nothing. Have you not read? He says, a merry heart does good like medicine. So even if it is sickness that comes, a merry heart. Come on, friends. For the spirit of a man will sustain him with his infirmities. Cheer up. Make fun out of everything. Laugh. Celebrate yourself. I mean, when your wife is walking in the house, just do as if you want to take something and just... Oh, okay, singles are here. Okay, so... Okay, so my guys are here. So what? You just do as if you want to... there are too many singles here. You just do as if you want to take something and just... I will say it. In Jesus' name. I said in Jesus' name. Just do as if you want to do something, just tap on the, just slap a bomb. Just. And I say, oh, it's a lie. That oh means that I want more. I want more. I want more. I'm telling you, you are taking yourself too seriously. You're taking yourself too seriously. You are waiting for the nightcap to have sex. You are waiting for the nightcap. So you are preparing yourself. No, you missed it. You missed it. You missed the whole preparation for sex. You are waiting. Well, you are waiting. You will wait in the night. No, sex starts in the morning. In Jesus' name. It starts in the morning. In fact, it starts from yesterday. When your wife goes to work and you send that dangerous text. Okay, I'm still a pastor, right? Okay. You send her dangerous what? Text. In Jesus' precious name. When she gets back home, as she goes to the kitchen, you are there together. She's washing, you are cleaning. She's cooking, you are cutting. You just, and as she's cooking, you are, okay, she's where? As she's cooking, come now, baby. Come now. Let me use that. Let me. As she's cooking, you just go behind her and just be like, Don't worry, the food will not get burnt. It will add vitamin to the food. Glory to Jesus. Glory to Jesus. You are taking yourself too serious. Too serious. You are taking yourself too serious. Are we together? When she goes to the salon, go with her. If you have the time. And if you can invite the hairdresser to the house, invite her. In fact, choose the style for her. So no, I want this one. I want this one. Don't take yourself too serious. Life is too short. Enjoyyourlife.com. Are we still friends? Are we still friends? Oh, wow. I've talked about this one, so I have to stop now. I said number 5, be naked. Be naked. Nakedness is not talking about sex, it's talking about communication. Yeah, that's it. Be transparent. Be open. Talk about everything and talk about anything. Use communication to commend, to encourage, to correct, to build, to elevate, to inform, to appreciate. Talk. Be open about everything. To use communication to tell her that, oh, this is the way I want you to dress. And ladies, let me say this to you. Now, the fact that you are married now does not mean that you should now start dressing as if you are from the Orient. Glory to Jesus. Let me say this to you. It doesn't matter whether the man is pastor or bishop. The man is a look. He's seen. Am I right? You know, I learned what sometime there was a man that was driving with his wife, and they were just as he was driving, then he saw this lady wearing and then he looked and he was what are you looking at? He said, oh, these girls of nowadays. Oh boy, how did you see the girls of nowadays? They look. Glory to Jesus. Your husband is looking. When he tells you, I like this, wear this one, wear it. Okay? Wait. You know why? Because He doesn't want to be looking at someone else in the office. The reason why it's taking too long in the office is because he sees someone that's dressed the way he wants to see you dress at the office. And when he comes home, he says, okay, let me just endure for these few hours and go back to that place. He has emotional love affair with somebody else. Did you receive wisdom? Finally, I will not be able to do this, maybe another time. But I'll give you this assignment. I give it to you. This is number 6. Apply the one another principle of God's word. One another principle. The one another principle of God's words. How do I mean? There are over 40 scriptures. Over 40 scriptures that talk about one another, each other. One another, each other. One another, each other. Love one another. Be kindly affectioned one towards another. In honor, preferring one another. Be of the same mind one with another. Judge not one another. Edify one another. Admonish, advise, correct one another. Defraud not one the other. By love, serve one another. Don't bite one another. Don't devour one another. Don't consume one another. Don't envy one another. Don't provoke one another. Don't lie to one another. Can you imagine that? Speak the truth to one another. Forgive one another. Submit to one another. Esteem the other party better than the other. Teach one another. Speak not evil of one another. Grudge not against one another. Confess your faults to one another. Pray for one another. Pray with one another. Have fellowship with one. Over 40 scriptures. If you can embrace the one another principle, conflicts will come. They will go. Your marriage will stay. God bless you.